There are some movies that really just stick with you over the course of your life. Whether it's something that you saw when you were a kid that was your favorite movie then, or something that really impacted you on a personal level as you grew up and just hit right. There are quite a few movies that do that for me, and I will talk about all of them at some point. But I want to go over one that's my personal favorite movie of all time. Like it's been for years now. I have a tattoo for it. It's right here. You can kind of see it a little bit. He's upside down, but oh, man, this is a really awful angle. I never really had to like think about it from that angle. It's such a beautiful day. I saw this movie about 10 years ago, give or take. It was one of the first movies I watched on Netflix when I got my brother's account. And I saw this, I was like, there's no way this little tiny movie, this little animated thing will impact my little 13-year-old brain in any capacity and, make me experience existential dread that'll last for the rest of my life. The film follows Bill, a man who has a lot of interesting thoughts about the world around him, and my god, you will hear all of them. Some that are painfully relatable at times, and then there are others that are more depressing, which I guess can also be painfully relatable. But yeah, he just kind of lives his life, goes to work, hangs out with his ex-girlfriend sometimes, and has a sickness that no one really knows what it is. The illness, like I said, is not really explained, but it is kind of like alluded. It's like multiple things put together to kind of create like just the illness, essentially. And he has like lapses of memory. He has hallucinations, just various like health declines and like ups and downs. And no one really seems to know what is going on. And there's not really any explanation to it, which is kind of what I just said. Like, no one knows what's going on. Yeah, that's repetition. All we really know is that it's getting worse. And, the movie, that might make it sound depressing, and it is, but it is also very funny. It uses that, all the thoughts and everything, the narration to kind of help, mix the two things together. I'm playing with my hands a lot right now because I have anxiety. It mixes the two very well together, and it never really makes it feel one way or another until the ending, where it's a lot more dark and depressing. It has a good way of just like keeping you engaged and keeping it like kind of fun while also being sad. There's a lot of like moments of surrealism, a lot of like I said, the hallucinations and all that kind of help. There's all the random thoughts he has. Like there's one about a guy that just sees an onion at the supermarket and says "big onion," which is something I would do. Each of these kind of break up the whole thing of like, oh shit, he's dying. Every time I watch the movie, it never really fails to deliver like all the existential dread and the sadness and everything, but also mixes that with hope a little bit in a way. It was always a movie I used to put on whenever I was miserable, whenever I got really sad. Because for some reason I'd always like think about the ending and be like, huh, things could have been so much worse, and life can be so much worse, but it is what it is, and like we kind of don't take that into consideration enough. It relaxes me a lot. I used to be more afraid of like death and everything like that. Still am a little bit, but it kind of pulls me out a little bit and makes me realize that there's just so much more to life than just thinking about the end. And that sounds a little cheesy, but it is what it is. Surprisingly, with them being stick figures, there is a decent amount of like emotion you can feel. The narration really helps with that. There's not really much expression to the characters' faces, but you can really kind of, there's like subtleties to them, or based on like what's being said or what's happening around them. You can really see, you can kind of get like a gauge on how they're feeling or how they're reacting. And a lot of the time, I realize this is kind of how most people just react in general. It's just that kind of just stuck feeling of just like, oh, that's happening. The experience this film will give you is something that's really unlike anything I can really explain. Um, I mean, I guess I did say that it has like that mix of dread and hope and all that, and kind of funny, kind of sad. Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had, but it's not really saying anything new. But the way it's saying it is the more interesting part of it. Um, how everything is delivered and conveyed, how everything's put together, how everything is just, I don't know, it's told in a unique way, even if it's not, if it's just a bunch of other ideas taken to form something new, which every movie really is, I guess. But I don't know, it feels like it perfected some like thoughts and ideas in my eyes. Yeah, it's been one of my favorite movies. I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on Blu-ray. I have the 3 episodes of World of Tomorrow. I have one of these as a short. I have a shirt, but it's in the wash. I have Don Hertzfeldt's book. I have his book. I have a limited edition 1 of 500 print poster thing, signed. I kind of like the movie. If you can't tell, I need to get that framed. Anyway, a little while ago, me and my brother drove to see it when it was back in theaters. And seeing it in theaters was one of the best experiences I think I've ever had, just in general. Such a beautiful time. Being with people who haven't seen it before, or people who have seen it before. Either way, it's a new experience. You're sharing it with others on a big fucking screen. I don't know. It was so incredible. It's one of those experiences that I want to be able to have something like that again, like a fresh time. And will I get that? I don't know, but maybe. It was totally worth the 3-hour drive. I would totally do it again in a heartbeat. And I would see this movie again. I'm probably gonna watch it sometime this week now because I'm sad. But I have a camera. Wow, I said the name of my fucking channel. I haven't done that in a little bit. I gotta stop swearing so much. That's all I really got for it. This one. Watch the movie, please. It's a good one. Rent it, buy it, do whatever you have to do. Just watch it. It's really great. It's only like an hour long. It's just over an hour. It is well worth your time. It's so good. It's just so good. I could, I could cry. Goodbye. Oh god, this has like a weird vibe to it. I don't like, I feel happy but sad. This is gonna be a weird, yeah.